Veveverse official.
You win.
That is right. That is right. Keep it tight. Keep it tight. We are here once again, back at it like a NFT addict. How's everybody feeling out here, man? We're gonna go take a look at the VV AMA. We're gonna pay attention. We're gonna try to slow it down and really pay attention to it. And then we're gonna have a conversation in the chats. I hope you guys are ready because we're gonna get this party started off right now. Before we do, we need everybody to please like the video, please subscribe to the channel. It is easy and it is free. And if you guys are into free things, in about 10 minutes, we're gonna go to a Chiko Roku NFT and we're gonna go get a free NFT. The VV Update AMA. You guys know I can't do this without you guys, right? You guys know we can't do this without the community. So in order to get this party started off right, we got a special guest. That's right. You guys might know her as the captain. You guys might know her as the obvious. You guys might know her as the Captain Obvious. Y'all make some noise for Captain Obvious in the building. What happened? What happened? What happened?
I said, hello, family.
Oh, you sound like a robot. What is wrong? No. It's okay, y'all. Make some noise.
Better.
No, it sounds wild. It sounds wild. It sounds You sound like Chewbacca. You sound like an R2D2 or something.
Okay, I'll fix that.
Oh yeah. We're gonna go get those microphones fixed. We're gonna get this microphone fixed, and while we're at it, we're gonna go check out this VVAMA. We're gonna get down to business. How's everybody feeling out here? If you guys want to catch up, and if you guys want to join us, if you guys want to join the party, I'm gonna put the link out here in the description. Now we're gonna try not to talk too much during the AMA itself, but we're gonna have a deep dive conversation in the chats. So I hope everybody is ready. We're gonna get into it. Let me go pull out that page. Let me go pull out this screen right here. Let me go pull out my screen. How's everybody feeling? If you guys are watching this, please like the video. Please subscribe to the channel. It is easy and it is free. That's right. The community update is about to go down. It's about to go down, and we're still not there yet, but we're going to talk about a few things today. We are going to talk about a few things. Let me know in the comments down below. What is it that you guys want from the AMA? Let me Captain Obvious. Your mic isn't connected. That's what it's saying. It's saying your mic's not connected.
Yeah.
You don't have. Oh, you're good. I can hear you.
Good? All right.
Oh, that's right. Make some noise. Make some noise. All right. Let me do this properly. Now, you guys might know her as the captain. You guys might know her as the obvious. Some of you guys might know her as Captain Obvious. Make some noise for Captain Obvious in here, y'all. Oh, wait. There you go.
Thank you. My pleasure to be here. I'm very, very happy to share this space with you.
That's right. And I'm happy to share it with you. You've been in the community for a while now. I've been seeing you in the chats. You've been interacting, but you finally came out and you made your first appearance a few weeks ago at the Cryptoys opening party, right? You had an opening party.
I did, yes. It was my FA appearance on Cryptoys. We unboxed some cubes, and it was a blast.
Now that you've blessed us with the image of your face, are you gonna start a YouTube channel? That's what everybody wants to know. That's what TMZ asked me. He goes, if you're gonna talk to her, you're gonna ask her, is she starting her own YouTube channel?
I've been playing with a couple of different platforms, Snapchat, a couple different videos. It's the editing part that's so scary. I would love to, but I don't want to keep regurgitating the same stuff everybody's doing. So I'm kind of trolling the space and looking for the blind spots so I can fill in there, because you do your thing. Vault did his thing. Everybody's got their niche, and I don't want to just keep bombarding everybody with the same information. So when I find my little spot, I'll definitely slide in. I'm making some videos on the side, but I'm super critical of my stuff. So you've got it going on with the live stuff, and the editing part is pretty difficult.
The editing part
is difficult.
It's
just time consuming.
It's very time consuming. When I first started my channel, all my content was edited. I really didn't do lives, and then I started doing lives here and there, and I was getting more reactions and more views on the lives, and I'm like, man, I spend way more time on this. I could spend 3 days editing a video, or I could go live 10 times in those 3 days.
Yes. I just can't be trusted live.
Oh yeah. No, you get used to it. I've been working on it. All right, so I want to know, what are you waiting for here during this AMA?
I want to know that they fixed that drop list, the rebound thing. I've lost
Mm,
6 of them, and I love Vivi. I'm all in. I'm heavily invested. I'm not over leveraged. I'm invested. I feel good about what I've done. I know that make the investment, the bear market, it's going down. I'm just buying more as the prices are down, and I've been very careful about being critical because I do know that they're privy to information that we don't have, and I don't like it though. I like 5 times now. You get the rebound, get the buy now button, you pop, you get it, takes your gems, and
mm,
then you don't get your stuff. I got the
yeah.
truck with no number, and apparently that's the kiss of death. So um, they have to know it's a problem. I just don't understand. They know it's a problem, and they keep rolling out drops before they fix it. Although somebody's getting them, so um, I don't know. Where's my pencil?
Yeah, yeah. Oh, where's my
I'm
pencil? You don't even want to
I'm
get me started on that.
I'm fine waiting on the pencil. I just knew that that bothered you, so I thought I'd get a little dig there quick.
Don't do that to me. That's playing with my emotions because I can get my pencil or my Astro Boy. I had to go to bed without both of them paid for.
You still didn't get Astro Boy?
No, I got Astro Boy. Make some noise for Vivi, man.
Oh,
Make some noise for Vivi.
yay.
Vivi's
Just
pulling
a
it
late
hard out here, man.
bloomer.
Make some noise for Vivi, y'all. Okay, so
Just a late
if
bloomer.
you want them to fix the waitlist situation, that's what you want.
Yeah, that's my biggest want.
Okay,
Yeah,
that's your biggest one.
it
You
is.
guys watching, go ahead.
I'm good.
Or everybody watching right now, let me know in the comments down below. One, if you're excited about the AMA, and two, what is the most important thing? Because I think that everybody has the most important thing, but there's always one. There's always one, right? And I'm gonna tell you guys mine. It used to be the Veveverse.
For sure.
It used to be the
But you didn't
Veveverse.
get whitelisted, so now.
No. I stopped actually. To be perfectly clear, Cavell Anderson. I was talking to him on a Twitter DM, and I was telling him he was asking what was the biggest issue I had with Vivi, and when you answer to him, you gotta have to like be clear. So it took me days to think about it. It took me a while to think about it. I probably still haven't even
No
responded
matter
to
what
him.
you say, he's going to spin it, right?
Yeah. Well, no. He was just because I know what he's upset about. So I was like, or what am I waiting for? And one of the biggest things for me, it used to be the Veveverse.
Yeah.
The Veveverse was very a big part of why I'm even involved in a sense because the Veveverse was somewhere that I used to go on cyber.io and that was the Veveverse of the NFT space before spatial and all that. And I used to spend time in there and I used to create my own galleries. And this was years ago. And I always thought that was revolutionary. I was like, man, websites are gonna be like this. We're gonna all be experiencing each other in this virtual reality realm, whether it's from a desktop, a phone, or an Oculus or whatever the case may be. So the Viviverse was one of the. But the more I want it, now I look back, I want it less. I actually don't even think that maybe I even want that.
Are you worried of
Oh,
the letdown? Are you worried of the, like,
I'm.
too much?
No, too much would be amazing, right? It I don't want nobody to build me a metaverse. I want to build my own. That's really what it comes down to. I want to build my own. I'm not going to go spend time in anybody's spatial room. I'm going to create my own spatial gallery. So,
You have so much art. I mean, you're gonna have to build your own place
right. And so is
for all
everybody,
of
though.
your art.
So
Yeah.
is everybody, right? Everybody's going to build their own space. And I just want somebody, and I hope it's the Viviverse, to give me the tools so I can create the space I want to create. Because I want to have a game show in the metaverse. I want to stand
Yeah.
behind a podium. Vivi's working with face swapping technology. So I want to have a mighty with my face on it, talking to everybody. And I got 100 people in the audience, and each one of them is you guys because you guys are using the technology in real time. I'm face swapping everybody. So I'm in this virtual space literally with everybody. Can I do that? I just want to build that. Oh, that'd
I
be
think the
legendary.
problem with the metaverse truly is there's no limit to our imagination, and everybody
Mm,
what we vision it to be, and I think the problems in a lot of reality is our expectations versus the reality of the situation. We want this stuff, and our imaginations are boundless, and we can imagine all of this stuff, and we want all of this stuff. But what's reality in the code? What can they realistically produce? And so I'm kind of reluctant to to get all excited because I do know 5 years, 10 years down the road, it's gonna be amazing. And
Oh,
it's gonna be amazing.
oh, it is. It really is. And I think we're early enough to where when people end up coming into the space, it'll be too late for them to get most of the stuff that is out right now.
I
That's where I'm at.
consider Web3 right now like people say if you could go back and do things over, it's to me it's 1994. The internet just came out, nobody knows about it, and we have the opportunity. They say if you realized what the internet was back, 94, 95 when it came out, you would invest in Facebook, you would invest in Google, you'd invest in Yahoo. We're there. Like Web3 is brand new. We got games.
Sorry. I got to. Sorry, go ahead. Go ahead. I can't
They're
pause
building
that.
layer on top of layer, and we do have an opportunity to for the investors and us invest early. For those that want to game, we're getting in gaming early. We have people right now that are beta testing Vivi's Veveverse. So it's
Yeah.
we're there and it's new, and all of my friends truly think I've lost my damn mind. They think I'm crazy, and I'm all in. I am
Yeah, me
very
too.
excited. I feel like we all have an opportunity, and I'm not gonna miss it.
Wow.
I'm
Yeah, me neither. I think we're just early enough to be able to take it. Sorry, I got this other screen playing. So actually, they started their live.
okay.
Vivi started the Twitter live, and they got this song playing right now because nobody's speaking, and that was busting through one ear, and then I was listening to you through the other. But yeah, I'm super excited about the space, and I think that my friends too look at me like I'm crazy. Maybe they might not get it or see where this is going, but I think that the technology, the people just have to ride with it. There has to be
Yep.
something to connect the everyday person to jump into the space, and it's not there yet. Um, I don't know if you heard me talking about the movie theater having an app and an augmented reality experience on the phone. Did you hear me talk about that? Okay,
No, my
so
mind would be
all
blown.
right. So I have the Regal app. And it's I purchase movies. I go to the movies every week with my girl. So every week I'm purchasing movies on the app. I got thousands of points on here. On the top right corner, on the top left corner, there's a little box, a little red box. You see that?
Okay. Yeah.
I press that box and it's literally an augmented reality experience, right? So I was in the theaters looking at this, and I'm gonna try to wrap this up because we're gonna go to AMA. Everybody listening, please like, please subscribe. We're gonna get started right now. I'm gonna get this off for a second though. So when you open the app, you get Barbie experience, you get Indiana Jones, you get the Little Mermaid. Okay, so then I looked at it and I was like, I got airdropped something while I was at the theater because I had the app
Oh
open.
my
So
God, how
then
fun!
I go into the app and I press the Indiana Jones, and when you play it, it's asking you to place the collectible on the floor, just like Vivi. And when you place it, it's not a collectible, it's an actual room. And you step into it and you're literally inside of Indiana Jones's room.
And
Not
you're not
lying.
wearing anything, not
I'm doing it through
wearing
the
any
phone. I'm doing it through the
headset.
phone. I'm looking around and I'm in
We're
and
in
I
the
walk
future.
up. Yo, I walk up and there's a puzzle, and you have to create the puzzle in order to open the door and continue. So I cheated. I looked online for the puzzle, and I got through,
Game
and you
check,
end up getting
Ryan.
you end up getting Indiana Jones's hat, and now you own it, and you can take a selfie with the hat.
So when you say you own it and they drop it to you, where are you storing that?
I think it's stored on the app because there's no wallet in
Okay.
here,
Okay, right.
but this
So
is
they've
just one
somehow
step.
created a digital wallet inside of their app or something, which is
Yeah, yeah,
impressive.
yeah. They somehow did something. So,
Hey, quick,
and
real
then,
shout out. I don't want to interrupt you. I saw Superstar Money in the chat, and today is Joe's birthday. So happy birthday to Superstar Joe. Ooh.
ooh, happy birthday, Joe! Shout outs to you, man. Happy birthday.
Flawless victory.
I don't know why it says thank you. It should say happy birthday, but it is what it is.
I wanted to do a
All right.
shout out.
Yeah, yeah. Shout outs to the superstars, man. They're big supporters. So it's Rob's birthday today or Joe's?
Joe's birthday.
Joe's birthday. Shout
Joe's
outs to
birthday.
Joe, man. Shout outs to Joe, man. That's right. That's right. Okay, so by the way, the Little Mermaid had its own experience, and you look around and there's fish all around you, and you're inside a. It was an underwater
I'm
scene.
dead.
Okay, yeah, I'm done. All right, I'm gonna show you guys. I'm gonna
I want to
share
go
the
to
screen.
they better do that in Mario. I want to go to the Mario movie again. That was
Oh,
awesome.
that would be crazy. All right, let's listen to this. Let's see what they listen.
All right, moving on. We've got some good things to cover today. Dan and Mitch, how the hell are you?
Ooh, right on time, baby. Right on time.
Doing great, thanks.
Ow!
Alex, a little bit early here in New Zealand, but
Yes,
I
yes.
think my brain.
Yeah. Good morning, Alex. Good morning, everybody.
I
I
wonder if Dan
appreciate
smoked a
it,
bowl,
gentlemen.
y'all.
I know it's early too, but it's kind of a good middle of the day time for European friends as well. So didn't want to keep anybody up too late. But yeah, let's just jump right in. There's a few things obviously coming off San Diego Comic-Con that we had a really great time. Getting to know a lot of some new fans and some of our existing fans who came all the way down to San Diego, not only to attend Comic-Con, but also to join us at our after party, which is a really good time. Anytime we can hang with fam, and also we
Who
had
parties the
a
most,
great
y'all?
little moment there in which we paid tribute to Silicon. But let's just kind of dive into what was going on at the booth. We had, as you may have heard or know by now, obviously we had some, we'll call them exclusive drops for people who were new to the platform and were there at the Marvel booth to hear our presentation, which was a really cool moment, I think, for us, in that we were really having a captive audience of people who were new to digital collecting or new to Veve. And Ray Lowe was the host there with the Marvel booth, did a really great job of kind of ushering us through a quick tutorial and some visuals about what we see as the vision and the future of digital collecting. So shout out to Dan, who was there with me at the booth and on stage, kind of going through that presentation. And we did a couple of live drops in the old school style, just to make sure that everybody there had a countdown to experience together, and it was a lot of fun. And we did 2 comic runs, both 1,000 edition single cover comics, and then we also had some promo codes for new people who had installed the app in front of us, which was really great, because if anything that I think was the takeaway this year over last year, and feel free to chime in on this, Dan, was the people a little
Dan's
more
here.
open to the idea of what a digital asset is, and really what AR brings to the experience. I think you really saw it click for a lot of people once you show them that collectible or that comic flipping pages in AR.
Yeah, I think, now that it's been a few years that NFTs and digital collectibles have been around, I from my side, and it sounds like from your side, Alex, I definitely felt that the overall sentiment and understanding and awareness of what they are was much higher this year. And obviously the development team has been working hard, making sure we were able to push KYC requirements much further down the app, so the app user flow. So the great thing about that is that we can actually sign people up on the spot, give them the promo codes, run them through the platform. But yeah, this time around it was really good. Just lots of very positive engagement from the thousands of Marvel fans that were there.
Yeah, absolutely. And then definitely some good learning experience as well, in terms of like what we can do at future events, and just in terms of how we want to really bring people in and show them like even quicker, like what the value proposition is for something like this. Because not only is it your favorite characters and some of the biggest comic books, in the history of Marvel, but it's so much more than that. And I think, we'll dovetail into our next agenda item by one of the things that we showed at the booth, which was the Marvel showroom in the MetaQuest headsets. This was a really good experience, not only for people who really, that saw the AR, but they wanted to know more about what digital collecting was and what it could do. But it was also, for us, generally the Veve fans who came and really saw it, was another light switch moment, in that you could see and move through an environment where these collectibles were set up in a very nice and curated gallery kind of type setting of all of the Marvel Mighties. And it was just a kind of a snapshot, or a taste, a teaser, if you will, of what you can expect to see from the Veveverse moving forward. But that said, we are now moving into a first phase of closed private beta. So Dan, do you want to talk to us a little bit about the comms that went out this couple days ago, and what can we expect from this closed private beta?
And maybe a video.
Yeah, so but very excited to finally reach this point. The Veveverse has been quite an undertaking for the majority of the team here. Typically around, specifically around a lot of the asset review. We realized that we have done thousands of collectibles and comics since the launch of Veve. So obviously we need to be making sure that when these items appear in the Veveverse, they look the way that they have been signed off and approved by all of our IP and licensors. And that's required just a little bit longer effort than we anticipated, because the Veveverse environment is much more realistic compared to what we've got in the app at the moment. So happy to say that has been moved along quite well. Still got a few assets to review. And it's for that reason that we've told this initial beta group that we can't yet share anything in terms of screenshots, but they will be able to talk about their experience, etc. So the initial beta is just a small group of people. We have selected users who have been very active in showrooms. And if you haven't been selected just yet, I'm sorry, you'll more than likely be in one of the upcoming rounds. But it was important for me just to make sure that we do keep this initial group quite small, quite concise, because I'm going to be dealing with a lot of them directly, jumping on some calls, running them through the platform, getting their feedback. But yeah, from my perspective, what I'm most excited about with the Veveverse is obviously you can do everything you can do in the showroom, in our existing showrooms. But the two main features that I'm really bullish on is, number one, obviously all of the social side of it. There's voice chat, there's video chat, there's text chat, a whole bunch of different communication tools. And the other layer, which to be honest makes me just spend hours in the Veveverse, is all of the content creator tools. Up till now with our virtual showrooms, we've only been able to bring in the collectibles that are sold on Veve. And, some of our fans have been very creative in how to use those collectibles to, say, make their own shelves or, custom components within their own showroom. But now there are a whole lot of creator tools where you can bring in, cubes or spheres or pyramids, but all these kind of different simple shapes to really build up your own world. And we'll be continuing to add to that sort of library that you have. And that library is going to expand over the next few weeks to include a whole range of kind of like default 3D content, whether it's trees or walls or urban props, anything like that. So very, very excited to get to this point, and looking forward to diving in with the beta testers over the next couple of weeks to see what they have to say.
Great, right on. That sounds awesome. I think just to reiterate the point of keeping this initial closed private beta very tight and very small is really, as you mentioned, people who have been the most active in the showrooms. I've seen a few tweets of people claiming they got their invite, but I can assure you, if it's somebody who you probably don't think has got an invite, they probably didn't. So don't be taken by charlatans on Twitter. But we're really looking forward to getting some of the most active people in, so we can really kind of grow from there and figure out what kind of tweaks we need to make and what the next phase of beta will look like. But from your end, Dan, what do you consider a success metric in this first beta phase, and then what is the the continued rollout look like? Not from a timeline perspective, but just from a functionality perspective.
Yeah, so the main thing from my side is really just making sure that all of the features and functionality work as intended. Obviously, we've been working on the platform for quite a long time now, so we are very confident in the performance of the features. There are other areas like specific roles and policies that need to be reviewed. So, for example, if you import or you load an IP asset from your Veve library, you're not able to change any of the materials. And what I mean by that is any of the colors on these IP assets. However, if they are a non-IP asset, like you bring in a queue because you want to create, 4 walls and a roof, you are able to update, all of the materials on that, change the colors, add lighting, etc. So number one is just around the features. Number two is really just asking the beta testers to help us kind of crowd review the assets that are in the system one last time to make sure they are in line with what is currently in the Veve app, or they look the same as what's in the Veve app. And from there, assuming that all goes well, I mean, obviously I anticipate there is going to be a few little things that we will need to perhaps fix up or make clearer to the users. Once that takes place, we can then really just start bringing in users in small batches, very similar to the same way that we whitelist our features now, like payout, for example, which is still going through beta. So we'll be rolling it out in a very similar way. Also things like, making sure that, our service is scalable enough, all the infrastructure that we've set up is not having any sort of pipeline issues. Most of the sort of what I would call the less exciting stuff in the background.
Got it. Okay, that sounds good. Okay, so you mentioned the beta rollout process for a lot of our functionalities. So at this point, let's maybe transition to some product updates. Mitch, how are you?
I'm good. Thank you very much. How are you?
Doing well.
How's everybody?
Doing well. Good morning. Thank you for joining us early.
Good morning. No issues.
Let's cover a few recent updates. As we know, and people who have been following along, obviously, with our comms on Twitter and Discord, etc., and the blog, I've seen a kind of a regular clip of updates going through as pertaining to different functionality across the platform as a whole. But can you speak to some of the more recent updates like localization, et cetera, and where we are with continuing to build stuff like that out?
Yeah, absolutely. For us, we're always consistently trying to produce updates for the community and right across, even for ourselves internally, right? So our cadence has been set right from the beginning. We always release in 2-week cycles, and people can expect both large and small releases coming through on that regular cadence. For us, releasing is very, very important, and it's almost like a discipline internally. If things internally don't happen as well for one of the various teams, the release actually doesn't stop. They have to the teams have to peel out components that don't work, and they then plan it for the further release in the next 2 weeks. But our releases, we want to make sure that they're consistently coming out so that we can always make minute and iterative improvements to the application overall.
Got it. And when you mentioned teams, and I think we've kind of touched on this in a chat in the past, but at this point, the way your team is structured is that there are specific teams working on specific areas of the app, be it web, be it mobile, be it engagement, etc. Is that now how are we fully staffed in that regard? And I know we talked about briefly in a previous update about a new blockchain team coming on. Can you give us a little bit of an update on where the team is as a whole?
Yeah, in terms of scaling, teams, we've kind of hit that capacity, right? We don't think we need to kind of add infinite amount of headcount to the teams anymore. We've hit a pretty good point, and now it's really about optimization. So we've got various teams kind of working on various components of Veve itself, and they are pretty much fully staffed right now.
Specific?
So onboarding is still happening for the newer kind of entrants into the teams. But now it's really about sitting down and understanding what kind of roles we can add that will add exponential value to the teams, both from a organizational point of view but also a capability point of view. So I think we're sitting at a pretty comfortable state right now. The teams are coming a little bit more on board, as in maturity-wise, learning about Veve. A lot of them have not come from the digital collectible space or from the crypto space at all. So their learning curve is going to be higher. But, we think we've got the right people in place to be able to kind of keep inching and kind of leaping us forward in our development right across from everything from just normal functionality on Veve all the way through to digital asset functionality.
Excellent. Okay. And then in terms of, we talked about briefly language localization.
That's it.
Obviously, we've rolled out crafting, and we're continuing to improve on that. Are there any other further updates on those two items at this point?
Yeah, from a language point of view, we've got Japanese, French, and Spanish. So it was a very interesting experience to try and get that through. But I think, from a language point of view, localization is going to be very, very important, right? We want the app to be absolutely accessible to the various people that are available for us to kind of onboard right across the world. So, we can expect more languages to be onboarded in the coming days, weeks, months, years. As we look to kind of make the app a lot more accessible. From a crafting point of view, we have one of the teams kind of working on building out the full crafting-based functionality. What we've seen so far is really just the surface of crafting, and our plans for the ability for people to turn, many NFTs into one, or many collectibles into one, and turn one collectibles into many. So there is a team there kind of working on building out and maturing that capability from where we are today into quite an exciting kind of future base for crafting in itself.
Excellent. Okay. That's awesome. Thank you. And then Dan, maybe do you want to speak to, in regards to localization, obviously it's very important that we make the app as accessible to as many people in the world as possible. But can you speak to briefly, I know we've mentioned in the past and David has mentioned as much about localization being necessary to onboard, specific IP or licensors to the platform. I assume Astro Boy was one of the first fruits of that labor in debuting Japanese, etc.
Yeah, I mean, David and I have been very open about the fact we are both, very big fans of Japanese IP, and there's even a lot of Chinese IP out there as well. And really to tap into these markets, we obviously do need to be localized. There are a lot of English speakers out there, but even from a licensor level, it is important for these IP owners that the items that we sell are accessible and available, to their local audiences, and that is a big part of the reason for localization. And the cool thing about Veve is that it truly is a global app, and so we want to be making sure that we have the opportunity to sell a whole lot of different IP from different regions, and really it's a part of our growth strategy to bring on users from more of these countries.
Excellent. Okay, great. All right. Speaking of things in the works, can you give us the latest on our payout beta? Last we left it with a tweet was that we had onboarded a small amount of people to do some private beta testing, and those seem to be successful from those people who did get access. But what's the plan for further rollout and then opening that wide to our international user base?
Yeah, so payouts is small. It's sitting at around 15,000 people that have access to the payout beta at the moment, and we're kind of holding it there for now as we've picked up some kind of operational components that we need to kind of address. So once we get past those pieces, and that they're not really large pieces at all, we just need time to kind of resolve them with our new partner, we'll start to open that up to everybody else. So the whole point about the beta is for us to discover some of these issues that cannot really be discovered if there isn't scale being applied to the systems. And we found some. And what we're doing now is kind of going back to address those pieces. And once we're done with that, we'll probably open it up to everybody.
Okay, great.
It's fairly short.
Yeah, I think one other point on the payout, I've mentioned in previous AMAs, whenever it comes to anything financial or anything where money can be pulled out of the system, we do like to be extremely risk averse. So while it may seem slow, our rollout process, we are just being very diligent to making sure that there are no security gaps or security holes in the platform. It's obviously something that might seem quite simple on the surface, but there's a lot going on in the background, right across support teams, risk analysis teams, etc. So we do appreciate your patience with it. We can assure you 100% payout is fully built and implemented and rolled out, and we do look forward to getting that out to the wider community as soon as we can.
Okay, excellent. All positive updates there. Well, let's maybe dive into some things that have been maybe not as positive as of late, and that has to do with some of the issues we've been seeing with waitlist drops as of late. Mitch, I know obviously this is a new functionality for us. Can you just break it down to let me just go through how ideally waitlist should work, and what the known issues are, and what we're doing to address those issues in order to move forward with other items on our plate?
Yeah, absolutely. So it's no secret that we've been facing some challenges with the waitlist itself, and I think Nesta tweeted about it 7 hours ago, something like that. The reality is that it is a new system. We did test it quite robustly, and we've picked up some issues as we've progressed, right? So the waitlist actually has two phases. The first phase is the waitlist itself, where
waitlist.
there is a kind of closed time so that people can join the waitlist, and then subsequently there will be a time where the waitlist closes and allocation happens, and then there will be a time where people are allowed to purchase, and then from there it moves on to rebound. So the two phases are the waitlist, the subsequent allocation, and then the rebound, right? We're facing problems right now, or challenges with the rebound itself. So that is the area that we're focusing on in an attempt to kind of stabilize overall waitlist functionality. We think we've kind of got where we needed to go with that piece right now, and we'll be looking to kind of deploy that over the next couple of weeks.
Okay, cool. So let's talk about quickly, though. I think there, maybe just for definition's sake, what the core waitlist is for the countdown, to drop time, right? And then there's what I think we've just, out of habit, have been calling the rebound, right? Which is the experience that if a drop hasn't sold out, how they return to the store. Obviously, that's kind of where I think a good bulk of the issues or complaints, at least that we've been seeing on Twitter and support tickets, have been coming from. Can you tell us, like, what is the issue, I guess, specifically there, and how you envision that being cleaned up for the future?
Yeah, we actually looked at several different ways to do this. During the waitlist phase, we wanted to make sure that there was a degree of priority that was being provided to KYC based users, right? As we've kind of talked about for quite a while, and that is the case right now. So during the waitlist period, where the waitlist is open, you can join in the subsequent allocation and purchase phase. Those allocations will be kind of prioritized towards KYC users first. Now, if there are any allocations or additions that are unsold post the waitlist phase, they go into what we call a free-for-all phase, where because we've prioritized KYC users, non-KYC users don't really have an opportunity or have a much reduced opportunity to join the waitlist or to be successful in the allocation during the waitlist phase. So that open phase post the waitlist is meant to kind of level out the playing field for non-KYC accounts so that they can have access to collectibles and comics that are unsold at any point in time. During the unsold phase or post allocation phase, there are two types of instances where additions will be allocated back into the rebound, so-called rebound. One is if a person has been successfully allocated during the waitlist but has not completed the payment phase in the first 15 minutes. And then secondly, if there are less people that have joined the waitlist and there are additions available, there will be additions made that will be unsold. So that was the intent. During that rebound phase, it was meant to be an open phase, but what we've seen so far is that we needed to fix and bring in some degree of reservations to allow users, any users, to actually some time to purchase before things go back into a revolving loop of being available and not being available. And right now, everything is just available, and at any one point in time, it can just become unavailable if someone else has purchased an available edition quickly.
Got it.
Yeah, and Alex, I think I just thought I'd like to say,
Got it.
It is a new piece of technology. I'm sure for all the OGs in the space here, they remember when back in 2021 when with the buy now, we were having quite a few let's just say exciting times with those drops. But obviously as that buy now system improved and got more robust over time, it became very, very solid, by the end. And it's just the nature of development. A lot of the times, we do a lot of testing in our staging environments with the team and a whole bunch of testers. And really, we're just going through this same sort of phase now with the waitlist. So obviously, we are 100% committed to making it, a really fun and enjoyable experience. And for those of you who have been, poorly affected, again, we always apologize. It's never, a scenario or a situation that we want. But yeah, please just be rest assured that we are working on it, all the time, and it is just going to get better and better.
Yeah, I think Dan touched on it really well, right? Like, our processes are iterative. We discover things that need to be improved, and we improve it. Even if we don't discover things that improve, we try to improve things. So this is a journey for us, and we'll always kind of be looking at making things better, making things quicker, making things a lot more fun.
Okay, excellent. Now, obviously, getting some of those issues ironed out with the wait list is integral to moving on and releasing some form of what else people have been really looking forward to, which is MCP, right? And so we've successfully rolled out MCP showing up in your profile with your points calculations. Obviously, there's still some minor issues with some folks about the actual calculations, but can you just give us a general status update of how waitlist relates to MCP and where MCP is in the pipeline in terms of being able to get correct totals on points calculations, being able to spend points, etc.?
Yeah, for us, MCP is continuous. Work on MCP is continuous. Points are something we want to get accurate, but we're quite and we're working quite diligently and with a big degree of focus on trying to get everything as accurate as we can. The reality, however, is that it's going to be an ongoing progression. So, we're targeting a success rate of around 98% in terms of accuracy. That's what we're going for right now. But the remaining 2% will always be something that we continuously work on. So our journey with MCP I suspect will never end. It will always be, enhancements to the point system. There will always be changes to the point system as we progress through to get points up to where people expect them to be. And there will be minor cases where we may have to look into it individually, or if we notice a pattern that is happening inside of the MCP point calculation system, we'll kind of address that with a release in the background, right? So these things are continuous for us. If you have issues with your points, some of you have already put in a request or a form for it to be reviewed. Please continue to use the form, because we are watching these and we are picking up on things that are not going according to what we expect them to be, and we are kind of addressing them almost on a case-by-case basis as well.
Great. And so just so we can be clear for anybody who does believe they are having a points calculation issue, when they do file that support ticket, what are we looking for in terms of information so that we can best hone in and dial in to understand what
nobody knows the real points
calculation should be, or versus what
they should just start from zero. Like, we shouldn't even bother with him. Like, yo guys, sorry,
really
call it a loss, charge it to the game. We're starting from zero. From now on, we're getting them right.
In the first instance,
would you guys be mad?
Where it is currently we're trying to get a decent comparison between the expectation
Not if I had more
versus
points.
the reality. And this is because, as we progress the MCP service, we're constantly kind of making changes to it and making tweaks to it, that sometimes, we want to make sure that there is a strong base for us to be able to say, yes, this is a legitimate case of the system not doing what it needs to be, and then we'll make a tweak to it to ensure that these adjustments are fair and equitable for the people that are affected.
Got it. Okay, thank you. And in terms of, actual, not timeline wise, but at least in terms of order of priority, enrolling future features of the MCP out so people can feel like they are able to use their points in some way, or have some other type of utility within the app as part of the program. Where are we at with, not only MCP, but the loyalty program, which we've talked about in the past as it relates to OUP, etc. Are there any, is there
OUP?
a priority list?
Is OMI still a thing, y'all? Y'all still buying
rolling
OMI?
these things
Stop.
out
What is it?
Stabilization of the wait list?
OUP.
Yeah, so the waitlist and the MCP piece, as well as MCP utility, are intrinsically tied together. I was telling Dan not too long ago that we're finally getting to all the really
What's
fun
OMI?
things that can deliver a lot of value.
What is that?
Back
Is that
to
a
our
thing?
communities and back to our
It rhymes with
users,
homie.
back to the user base. And then
OMI
we
Daily
kinda
Burn, that's his name.
ran into a bit of a challenge with the waitlist overall. So a lot of the resourcing right now that we have working on the waitlist and on MCP utility are being directed to kind of address some of these challenges that we have with the waitlist. That does not mean, however, that we've stopped work and progress
Yeah.
on MCP utility. It is very high on our priority list, and as I said last time, it is part of our, it was part of our Q2 objectives that kind of slipped into Q3 right now. Our focus is really still genuinely on delivering this utility for all the collectors that we have out there right now. And we know that there are many collectors with millions and millions of MCP points, and they really want to use them. So we've kind of gone through a phase of ideation, gone through a phase of thinking about, what and how can we add value using MCP points as utility. And we think we've got some really, really good things coming in the pipeline, but we are still right now kind of prefacing that against a stable waitlist, because the waitlist does preface the access to MCP utility. A lot of MCP utility will be based on the allocation system itself. So for us, getting the allocation system right is paramount.
Vivi
so
does
that we
not need a
can
podcast.
continue
No,
to
no,
build
no,
that
no.
utility
Ronnie
No.
Lido.
into the
No.
system itself.
Great. And just to expand on that,
We're going to have Alex hosted? No,
I was
chill.
just say, yeah. I mean, obviously we have, we've rolled out the first iteration
love
of
Alex.
the waitlist. We've rolled out the first phase of MCP. Whether it's obvious or not, but we know obviously we're not going to stop there. We are continuing to work in the background like MCP to deliver, phase 2 and onwards. So, I think one thing to say about MCP is that, we are dealing of years and years of data with millions and millions of transactions, millions of daily, possibly tens of millions of daily points in terms of the data set. So it is a complex system, and that's why we are seeing some discrepancies for some users. But once again, just please be rest assured that all of this work is continuing to happen in the background.
Got it. And I just wanted to expand quickly on the notion of allocation, so that people are clear what that means. When we talk about allocation within the waitlist, we're talking about allocating those who have opted into the waitlist versus other factors like, are you KYC'd, or have you put in extra or MCP points, etc. down the line. So that we need to get that infrastructure down pat, so that when we do release the functionality for MCP, that it's a little easier of a lift on the systems. Is that fair to say?
Yes, that's correct. So the allocation system is going to be one of the main staples of how we progress functionality in the future, and getting that right is extremely important, right? If I'm not wrong, and I have been kind of just monitoring the stuff that's been happening across the various community channels, people are saying, are these allocations truly random, et cetera, et cetera. They are absolutely random at this stage. And part of the improvements on the allocation systems that we're looking at as well is to say, well, how do we ensure fairness in randomization? And these are the pieces that we're kind of working on, and really focused on, because we want to make sure that, you know, these delivery mechanisms and the allocation systems that we're creating are robust, so that we can continue to build on them.
So definitely a randomized selection system. And so, you know, a special shout out to people I've seen say, I have not been able to hit a wait list to save my life. It's nothing personal. Please don't take it personally. We love that you keep trying. You know, just stick with it, and you know you'll get one. Obviously, eventually, just by nature of statistics. But it's helpful to hear that there are no other at this point. You know, without MCP, et cetera. It's all based on allocation and prioritization for KYC.
And Alex, I think there is, you know, something else that I don't believe we've announced it, but I think it's fine that we can announce it here. Just some of the other upgrades we are making around the waitlist system.
Great.
You know, I mentioned earlier that Veve really is truly a global app. You know, we see that absolutely, especially with the implementation of phase 1 of the waitlist. The spread or the delivery of the collectibles is, you know, much more global, which is a really good thing to see. You know, one of the challenges we have always faced with the drops is the actual drop time itself. Obviously, you know, we do want to be global. We do want to be making sure that it is fair for everyone, and we've picked the time zone 8 a.m. Pacific time for the majority of the drops, because it has the closest sort of crossover for most of our audiences around the world. But one of the exciting updates that we do have coming out for the waitlist is you will be able to join the waitlist within I believe it's a 24-hour period. And then if you do have gems in your wallet, and you are successfully selected in the waitlist, it would automatically make the purchase for you and deliver it to your collection. So when you wake up, you've got a brand new collectible. And that's just one of the approaches or methods we are using to just make it easier. I mean, for me in New Zealand, I've got to get up at 4 a.m. to be honest.
I was going to say, most of the shout outs were like, come on, you're a New Zealand company. Why aren't you helping us out here? Like, especially, and then Australia is even a couple hours before that. So that's helpful to hear. And I know that had been working on. I'm glad you were able to announce that that's coming here today. But that's, just to reiterate, that basically means that, you don't have to wake up. Once that wait list window opens, you can basically set it, forget it, right? If you have the gems to cover the drop, you opt in, go back to sleep, and you wake up and you either have the collectible or you don't. You can get it in the secondary market. But that's very helpful, I think,
you have to wake up
for
to
people, not only in other parts of the world, but people who have work, here on the east or west coast of the United States, have a meeting at that time, or forget about it. But you have a much larger window in which to participate in these drops, and I think that's great.
So just one more thing on this one. It's important to note that most things or everything on Veve is never mandatory. Everything is.
I could cash out if y'all want, y'all.
For collectors, and we want to continue to keep that as a choice for collectors themselves. So, if you choose to not want to auto pay or auto complete a purchase, you can. If you choose to want to continue to wake up at 3 a.m. to make the payment on your own, you can choose to do that. Everything is about convenience, and everything is about choice. And
you still have to wake up to enter,
choice in the hands of the collectors and allow the collectors to do what best fits their lifestyles.
Great. Yeah, good and very important to note. Thank you very much for that, Mitch. Okay, so I think that's pretty much it on MCP.
Oh, okay.
/ loyalty. Anything else you guys want to add on that front in terms of, I don't know, roadmap, prioritization, or anything else that you'd like to announce today in terms of other functionality coming to the app?
No, just to kind of close off and ensure kind of a degree of transparency, right? We've got various teams working on various different things. So waitlist and MCP utility are one of those things that are being worked on by a team. We've got teams working on our kind of utility program as well, And we expect that we'll be able to kind of talk a little bit more about what we've been doing with the
Cleanse the
augmented
bots.
piece a little bit later, as we kind of firm up communications and firm up the details on that functionality coming through. So rest assured, as Dan said before, that as much as we may not be talking about things, or it might not be as tangible or visible, there's a lot of stuff happening in the background, and it touches quite a few different teams that we have running right now.
Well, the only
And
thing I've gotten is a 24-hour wait list. That's the only news
Just
I've gotten
because
so
we're
far.
quiet doesn't mean we're not working on stuff. In fact, actually, it's the opposite. We're quiet because we are working on things.
Yeah, that's a great point, Mitch. And I think this year, hopefully everyone can see that we are delivering a lot of features. Since the beginning of the year, obviously waitlist, crafting, MCP. These are all the things that we've been wanting to get out for a while, and we are seeing a good cadence with these features come out. If only they were a lot more simple and were easier to deploy and get up and running 100%. But to Mitch's point, we are always working on stuff in the background, and hopefully that's apparent just through the fact that we are delivering on a pretty consistent basis throughout this year.
Yeah, if Facebook is having a year of optimization for Veve, it's the year of delivery.
Awesome. Okay. All right. So just quick housekeeping. Heads up that tonight they're going to be doing some of the referred to infrastructure upgrading. There will be an outage starting tonight, July 31st at 10 p.m. Pacific time. Systems will be down, and we do expect any processes and upgrades to be complete within a few hours, but just a heads up. So if you're doing some late night browsing, or you're waking up in the morning tomorrow and early tomorrow and see that the app is down, just be aware that that's what's happening. We're going through some upgrades. We'll put out some comms on Twitter about
something
that
new,
as well.
something new.
But there is no drop tomorrow, so we won't risk running up against that. In terms of drops for the rest of the week, we actually have some really good stuff, and I can't wait to share that with you. Obviously, Wednesday we have the next Disney comic, that is The Last of the Clan McDuck. We've just announced
it sounds like it's
Fantastic
over, y'all.
Four
It sounds
2,
like
which
it's
is a
over.
big book, first appearance of the Skrulls. For those of you who have been watching Secret Invasion, you know how integral that piece of the story is to the future of the MCU. And how big that character and that that alien race has been to a lot of comic storylines for Marvel over the years. So that's a big one. And then let's see, what else can I tease here? Maybe another
tease me, don't
drop
please
that
me.
includes a pencil, perhaps.
Oh, pencil.
The pencil.
And then we got some other good stuff. But just again, tonight outage starting at 10 p.m. PT. We're down for a few hours, but we'll be back up as soon as those upgrades are complete. Anything else you guys would like to add for this month? And just quickly, I know I usually say my little spiel at the top about fairly regular basis and whatnot, but obviously wanted to pay some tribute there to.
We're gonna talk about this, y'all.
I know a lot of people have been disappointed that we're not doing the video format on YouTube.
I sent you another link, Captain.
We'll continue doing community updates, but I think
we're
just kind of revamping.
As soon as they're done, we're going to leave and come back, and we're going to talk about this.
Forward. That they are with Dan and David.
If you want. I'm going to definitely come back and talk. I sent you a link, though.
Mitch heads down on a lot of different things happening with the app and doing some traveling, securing new IP, new partnerships, as you may have seen from Mr. Yu's Instagram. It becomes a little harder for me to herd those cats, if you will. So we'll revamp that format a little bit, and we'll still aim to keep everybody informed as often as possible with any updates to the ecosystem as a whole. But please don't take it personally that you don't get to see our tired and beautiful faces on a monthly basis. But thank you for everybody for joining us today.
I'm done.
And thank you for Dan and Mitch for getting up early. I know I saw David in the crowd earlier. I know he had some conflicts with some meetings early on this morning, so couldn't come up to the stage. And shout out to everybody who has stuck with us and is patient as we continue to roll out all of these different pieces of what is going to be the best digital collectible experience in the world. That said, I've been Alex, and we will catch you on the next one. So thank you very much, everybody.
Wow. 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 Okay. Okay. So we are here. We are live. I'm gonna log off. I'm gonna log off and we're gonna come right back so the videos don't overlap. I sent you a link. Everybody, I'll see you guys in 30 seconds.
What a turd burger.